My name is Johnny Dever, and I'm part of Road Rep. Our group consists of Hamza Khan, Aydin Chaudhry, Darius Voth, Evan Clapton, and our mentor, Mas Patel. Did you know that 96% of people experienced road rage in the first half of 2024? Imagine this. You're driving to your daily commute to work, and you get cut off. The guy barely misses your car by an inch. You then think about how that could have risked your life and a bunch of money for your car repair. As shown here, the pink car cut off the red car. Now you have a couple options here from your road rage. You could slam on the horn, you could flip the guy off, or you could approach him with a weapon. Instead, you should relieve your anger and download Road Rep, an app that allows you to get rid of road rage. In theory, our app is like those "How is my driving" stickers on the back of school buses, but for all vehicles on the road. As shown here, you have the log in or sign up, or the report a driver feature. And how you report a driver is you can use a camera or a microphone. As shown on the right here, you can use your camera to scan the license plate of this driver, and then you could enter their license plate and say what they did. As shown here, it's the cutting off report. The second option is the microphone feature, where you can use Siri to say the license plate into your phone and say what they did, cutting off. This is the reports that'll be made for these drivers. As shown here, the pink car that cut us off already has 37 reports, 25% being for speeding, 49% being for not using a signal, 16% is for harsh brakes. So these reputations that are made by our reports then go into our Road Rep database, which will then sell to insurance companies. So our customers are the insurance companies who buy the data for all these drivers. Our value. Once they buy that data, they'll be able to adjust premiums and have better risk assessment.
When it comes to our competition, we actually don't have many direct rivals. The closest thing we found was this website here called licenseplatereports.com, and it's a website where users can report reckless drivers' license plates. However, they lack a mobile app, key features, and an efficient way to report drivers. The website has around 15,000 reports nationwide. However, they heavily rely on manual submissions, which makes it clunky and inconvenient for users. Road Rep is made to solve these issues. Our app will integrate voice activation features, which allow users to report reckless drivers hands-free using things like Siri, reducing, it'll improve safety. Additionally, we'll have dash cam reports, which will enhance accuracy, prevent false reporting, and increase the value of each submission sent. Unlike existing solutions, Road Rep allows reports to be valuable for insurers. Road Rep operates the road safety market, an industry that's becoming more focused than ever on trying to reduce accidents and improve driver accountability. And this market is worth around $3.7 billion globally. Our target customers will be insurers, and based on estimates, if we capture a portion of this market at our price point, we get a serviceable addressable market of $36 million. Now let's talk about our market share. In our first year, we plan to reach around 950 insurers in Illinois, and we plan to retain 2.5% of them as actual paying customers, which leaves us with a market share of $142,000, which is 0.004% of the total addressable market. While this might seem like a small slice of the market, it's an excellent foothold that puts us in a steady growth.
Customer relationships. How customers are going to hear about a product. First, Instagram. Second, X. And third, Facebook.
So our marketing strategy focuses on three main strategies. First is Instagram ads. So 50% of users on Instagram have either discovered a new business or service. Instagram also has over 2 billion users, so it's a powerhouse for marketing, making it a great place to market Road Rep. Our second marketing strategy is mass emailing our users. 52% of consumers have either bought a product or service directly from an email's link. So if we can craft personalized messages, we can nurture leads, retain customers, and drive. And then our third marketing strategy is flyers around towns or at busy intersections. So 75% of consumers have bought a product or service when a flyer has catched their eye. So if we place eye-catching flyers in high-traffic areas, we can increase local awareness for road rep and encourage word-of-mouth marketing. So we have, our marketing towards insurance companies is to either email them or call them. So we have 2 indirect channels, the Google Play Store and the App Store. So the benefits of using that is that the wider audience reach because of the million users on them. But a con is that we would have to pay to be on these stores. And our direct channel is roadrep.com. The pros of that is that we can access all our data and full control of our website, but we would be responsible for the security of that data.
Unit of revenue. Access to all of the driver's data will be how we're gonna make money. $500 per month for insurance companies, but we're still gonna decide based off how many people use RoadRep. 100% gross profit margin because we're just selling the data to insurance companies directly. And we're estimating $15,000 in first year sales. And 30 units sold.
So as for our MVP, we wanted to test 3 parts of our business model. The first one being the user base, which consists of the users who are actually using RoadRep to make reports. The second one being the price point, which consists of the insurance companies that are buying the data created by our app. And the last one being the features, which is the features that are part of our app. So for the user base, we wanted to mass email send out a survey using MailChimp. This survey will just give us insight on what users think of the idea, what they need or want in an app like ours. And it'll give us qualitative and quantitative responses. One thing we need to do is collect enough emails of our users to be sending out this survey. One way we decided to do this is with our website. There will be an email input where users can input their email and then they will receive updates about the survey. And our goal is to see positive results and just give us information on how to move forward. As for price point, we didn't think it was appropriate to send a survey out to insurance companies. Instead, we actually decided to schedule meetings with them. Ideally, this could be done with Calendly in a one-on-one setting, but if that's not always possible, then we could reach out to them with a phone call or either email them. From them, we wanted to find out how should we sell it in bulk or in singular quantities, and what should we price it at. As for the features, we decided to make a demo using the AppMaker Glide. This demo will include some of the bare bones features, such as the camera recognition and the voice activation for reporting license plates. We generally wanted to observe engagement with the app, so if users are flocking to one area and staying away from the other. And generally where we can improve the app and make it a better experience for the user. Gaining traction is very important for making a demo so that we can get the most amount of people using it. So one of the marketing strategies we use is Instagram, the next one is signs, and the last one is going to be included with the mailing that we're sending out. So as for the cost breakdown, there are 4 things that we need to spend money on. The first one being Glide, the second one being GoDaddy, the third one being Instagram, and the last one being making the signs. So Glide would end up being $86 for 3 months, which would be total to be $258. GoDaddy would be $10 for 3 months, which would be $30. And the last 2, Instagram, if we spent $25 on advertising for 3 months, that would give us $75. And printing 25 signs to put around town would be $50. This leaves us with a total of $415, which is the amount that we're asking to test our MVP.
See it, report, improve it. RoadRep for safer roads.
So,
No, please.
so you kind of have 2, I mean, I like the idea, the concept, it's like an Uber rating for just drivers. And it's like one of those things where no individual anecdote is worth anything, but collectively it's actually data, if you get enough of the data points and everything. So you kind of have 2 customers. You have the people that have to create the data when they're on the road, and then the people that use the data. Like, who is your, how do you convince that first set of customers to buy something that they're not really getting in theory, their benefit goes, is long-term or intangible because of the lower insurance rates, but how do you like get them? What's your thought on that?
Well, the benefit is that they can relieve their road rage by also having an effect on the driver that's not like bad for them, like flipping them off or
Yeah.
doing something physical or like if it's, for example, if it's something that's not necessarily so bad we have to call the police, you can still have an effect on these drivers where you don't call 911.
Yeah.
Like also for like drunk drivers, like people drunk drive and don't get caught all the time. So it'll make a reputation for those kinds of people who do those things.
Okay.
I see there's some analogies for like Waze, right? So if you're on Waze and you could report, you know, hey, there's a car on the side of there's a pothole, you know, you're reporting things that will help the community. And you're doing it because you know, so if somebody else will help you out too, like, oh, there's a pothole, whatever. But again, I'm having trouble really understanding what's my incentive to download this app and stop in the middle while I'm driving, try to do this, like, what do I get out of it?
Well, you get to report them and have their insurance raised if they're a bad driver. And if you're driving safe, you can have your insurance premiums lowered for being safe on the road.
Okay.
Sounds like it's kind of like a satisfaction kind of thing.
It's a
that they're-
surveillance state. I mean, it's a little bit, yeah, so that's a little bit of a tough sell, I think. I mean, you're gonna download it just so you could feel good. I would work on it. There's something there about doing the community and all that kind of stuff. And my second question is, well, how long have you had this idea?
3-4 months-ish.
Okay, and one of the things is your next steps are planning to call an insurance company to validate this?
No, we already have all the insurance companies lined up. We're just gonna call them and schedule meetings with them.
Why haven't you called them yet? Have you called them yet?
We've already called like around 10-ish.
And what's your response rate?
About 6 of them responded. They said to contact their carriers because we actually contacted their brokers, but they said we need to contact their carriers.
Okay,
So we're still waiting on them to respond to us.
okay, cause that's one thing that you should do that as quickly as, that validates your entire or invalidates your whole model. I mean, if you've had a few months or whatever, and that's just a phone call or whatever, that I would focus on doing that. If it's just a phone call or an email, that will give you a sign, like if you're still not getting through after a couple months, that should tell you something too. So keep focusing on that part as well, validate the core part of your model, and then think about that hook, that incentive, and for individual users.
How do you ensure, and going from the other side now, that this doesn't get used for the wrong purposes? I see the satisfaction component for the driver, but we all know there's probably a lot of people that might just be in it to say, hey, I don't like you, I'm gonna just start reporting you. And if there's real consequences, if there's insurance companies that are gonna subscribe to this and look, my insurance is gonna go up because somebody doesn't like me and they're just reporting me for no reason whatsoever. These are false reports. I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, we have the dash cam integration if the driver chooses to, and also with the mass amount of reports, like if 50% of like 3,000 reports on a driver are for brake checking, then it's gonna validate that many people did that. And it'll kind of discredit the fake reports if they have.
If someone subscribes and reports, do you get any data on who that person is, and does that get attached to it so you can see, is it the same person reporting? Is it a group of people that all know each other that are coming together to report this one person they don't like? I'm just taking it from a different perspective that it could be used for the wrong reasons.
Okay, guys, I founded and sold a dash camera company, okay? And trust me, I tried to penetrate the insurance market for years. Well, I don't wanna tell you, I don't wanna talk you out of it, but they are dinosaurs. And the bigger takeaway is they don't want data. Your idea is great, it's a great thought. The reality is, insurance companies, we made a product that gave them the acceleration, turning, braking, speed behaviors, risk profiles, almost like a FICO score for drivers. And they said, we don't want it. And we're like, why? What about these things that you're plugging in and these apps and all that? Yeah, it's all fake. All we want is to know, confirm how many miles they drive. Because anything outside of that, they look at as a liability. If a driver is showing to be not good, a pattern of behaviors, and then they kill somebody, for example, and the insurance company has that data, did nothing about it, they look at that as a liability on themselves. They do not change. Now, how do you monetize this? My suggestion would be to focus on commercial fleets, trucks. A lot of them are insured by something called captive insurance. They don't go to State Farm, they don't go to Allstate. It's a pool. Everybody pays, it's almost like a community, right? You wanna be part of the captive, they make you apply, you have to have a good driver history, you have to train and coach your drivers. Everybody pays into the pool, and if somebody who's part of the captive gets in an accident, it's taken from the pool. So there's almost like a self-policing, self-regulating aspect to that, and something like this might help. I think truck drivers are the ones, and there's a lot of data, the government did studies on accidents and risky driving, and truck drivers are actually the safest, and it's the private drivers that are the issue. So I would say commercial drivers who are living on the road would be the ones that have the most incentive to report and have safer roads, because they're the ones that are driving with basically a weapon, right? Tons and tons of weight, and they're the ones that are dealing with aggressive drivers and would probably want to rectify that the most. I would really focus on getting the interests of commercial drivers. Insurance, look, you gotta find this stuff out for yourself, call them, tell me what happens. I can tell you what happens. We offered the cameras for free, it wouldn't take them. We told them they have to pay $15 a month, wouldn't do it. Free data, wouldn't do it. So it's a very long road. State Farm, biggest in the country, entire company runs on MS-DOS. Do you know what MS-DOS is? It was what was before Windows. They don't change, they're awful.
Your parents
So-
probably don't know what MS-DOS is.
That's true, so you know, unfortunately picked one of the hardest markets to penetrate. But you have a great idea. Don't be scared to pivot that, and I would focus on a niche of drivers. And highly recommend commercial fleets. I can tell you way more, I could talk for hours. I've met with the high levels of every big company. And it's one of my biggest frustrations in that whole business was insurance. Because it was like, why don't you want this? It makes it better. And it, the truth is kind of disheartening, to be honest, that they don't really care.
Chris, can I ask something? What you're saying is that on my driving sticker, turn that into some kind of technology or,
Yeah.
right? Because those are commercial stickers. You only see those on commercial trucks, bus drivers.
Yeah, a lot of the, and there's a shortage of drivers too, so, of commercial drivers, there's a lot more there. I mean, I understand what Burke is saying too. But I think you can solve that with the technology, right? There's still companies that do online votes and all this stuff where it's very able to be abused or manipulated, but there's been solutions for that forever, right? You can track IPs, make sure there's not duplicates, you can force that they have a picture. If somebody's reporting too much but also they're getting a lot of reports, algorithms can determine who's actually the rager and who's the, but I think the person who wants to have not conflict, who's just like, I want justice, but I'm not gonna lift my middle finger, those are the ones who are gonna use this and wanna use it. They want those people to, you wanna teach a bully a lesson, but you're not gonna risk your life for it, right? It's kind of scary, road rage, right? So that's who you're targeting. And I get it, people will use it, but how are you gonna get them to download it and how are you gonna make money?
Let's review the ask. I don't think you need the signs.
Because I think this concept is top of mind when people are in their cars. And I think that the signs and the flyers and everything are when people are not in their cars. So it kind of disconnects, the,
You're thinking about putting the signs at intersections
yeah.
for people in their cars to see?
Maybe a little too early for this, guys. I'd like to see more time and research, and I don't know if that counts for money, but Doxing is another risk here, right? So you go on Google Maps, for example, Street View, every license plate is blurred. Now you have a platform where you're taking a picture of a person with a license plate. Are there legal ramifications to that? Is that allowed? If you're putting up in a public site, there might be risk there. You have to find out if that's a problem or not, right? I don't know.
So how much did you allocate for the signs?
There you go.
So 50, so how about that minus 50? 365?
And if you decide yeah.
What do you think, Burke?
Yeah, go back to that one slide if you would. You need the Glide and the GoDaddy, right? I mean, so that's.
Is Glide gonna show a mock-up of the app, or what is that again?
That's your application, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go to the few slides back, yeah, then.
I think, yeah, just no advertising and sign, right?
Yeah, just put it more into Glide. So what do we say?
358,
Did you do the numbers?
What'd you say?
363.
365?
Minus the sign in the app, whatever that number is.
Yeah, 363.
300.
I thought it was 288. No,
Back one, there you go.
258.
288,
288.
round it up to 3?
3.
300.
300 it is. Thank you, guys.